At 72, Neal Schon has decided not to stay silent anymore.
Everybody misses Perry, I mean, he's like, everybody wants him to sing. He just stopped. And I think when you're a vocalist, you can't stop. You have to continue. It's a muscle.
After nearly half a century of creating timeless love songs together, the legendary guitarist has made a remarkably blunt admission. Every attempt to reconnect has been met with complete silence.
I hope that someday that we can get to the point where I can pick up the telephone and I can talk to him without talking through management and attorneys. I still don't quite realize why we just can't talk one-on-one for whatever reason, just to say hello, not to pressure anybody to do anything.
An old photograph accompanied by a birthday message, a vague sign of possibility, followed by another crushing blow to the hopes of millions of fans. What is really hidden behind the closed door between him and his former bandmate? What is the true price of building a musical empire?
And I remember I was in a studio, we're recording, I think, Departure, and I'm Smith, and I started playing that. And we're jamming on this like shuffle, and he was playing brushes. And so totally had that Hendrix vibe. And Perry came in, he put on the bass, he started singing, and that was that.
In 1977, Steve Perry was invited to a hotel in Denver, Colorado, to meet the members of Journey while the band was on tour. The meeting was arranged after Journey's manager Herbie Herbert heard Perry's recordings with Alien Project and believed he could be the vocalist the band had been searching for. It was the first time Perry and Neal Schon worked together directly, while Journey was under growing pressure to change direction in order to maintain its contract with Columbia Records. At that time, Journey had not achieved the commercial success the band had hoped for. Its first 3 albums, rooted in jazz rock and progressive rock, earned critical recognition, though sales remained modest. Pressure from the record label pushed the band to find a new musical direction that could attract a broader audience and strengthen its position in an increasingly competitive market. During that meeting in Denver, Neal Schon and Steve Perry quickly began playing music together. After only a few hours of working side by side, they completed the song Patiently, marking the beginning of what would become one of the most significant songwriting partnerships in Journey's history. According to Neal Schon in numerous interviews over the years, their first meeting unfolded far more naturally than many people expected. The two musicians picked up their guitars in the hotel room and immediately started writing together. There was no elaborate audition or long-term plan. Everything happened almost entirely through spontaneous inspiration. Within just a few hours, Neal Schon and Steve Perry had finished writing Patiently. For Schon, it was a clear sign that the two shared a rare creative connection. He has repeatedly recalled how melodies, lyrics, and musical ideas flowed naturally without the need for lengthy discussions. That brief writing session in Denver quickly convinced the rest of Journey that Steve Perry was the missing piece the band had been looking for. Not long afterward, Perry officially joined Journey as its lead singer. The decision marked a major turning point in the band's musical direction, shifting its focus toward melodic rock with broader mainstream appeal. The change became evident with the release of Infinity in 1978. Powered by Steve Perry's distinctive vocals and Neal Schon's guitar work, Journey achieved significant commercial success for the first time. The album elevated the band to an entirely different level from its early years. The momentum continued through Evolution and Departure before Journey reached its commercial peak with Escape in 1981. The album produced several major hit singles, expanded the band's popularity across the United States, and established Journey as one of the defining arena rock bands of its era. The success continued with Frontiers. During this period, Steve Perry and Neal Schon became Journey's central creative partnership. Perry handled much of the vocal melodies and singing, while Schon developed the guitar arrangements and musical structure, creating the signature sound that fans would recognize for decades. Many of Journey's best-known songs were created through the collaboration between the two musicians and the rest of the band. Don't Stop Believin', Open Arms, and Faithfully became enduring classics, continuing to appear on music charts, in films, television programs, and concert performances many years after their original release. Away from the recording studio and the stage, Neal Schon often described his relationship with Steve Perry as being like brothers. They spent years touring together, writing music, sharing success, and facing the pressures that came as Journey expanded its performances across the United States and many other countries. As Journey's fame continued to grow, the pressures of success, health issues, and personal choices gradually emerged, slowly changing a relationship that had once seemed impossible to break apart between Neal Schon and Steve Perry. The Rift. In the late 1980s, Steve Perry decided to step away from Journey. Along with struggling with burnout, he wanted to spend time caring for his mother, who was seriously ill. His departure came while Journey still had tremendous career momentum, making the decision an unexpected one for many fans. After spending time pursuing his own projects, Steve Perry and Journey found common ground and reunited. Their return resulted in the release of Trial by Fire in 1996. It marked the first studio album recorded by Journey's classic lineup after years apart. The album quickly attracted attention and led to plans for a major concert tour. Before the tour could begin, an unexpected accident changed everything. Steve Perry suffered an injury while hiking in Hawaii, making his hip condition significantly worse. Doctors diagnosed Perry with degenerative hip disease and recommended hip replacement surgery. According to interviews given later, the singer wanted to delay the operation, while the rest of the band feared that waiting any longer would force Journey to miss the opportunity to tour following the success of Trial by Fire. The difference in priorities surrounding Perry's health soon created serious disagreements. One side wanted to focus on recovery before returning to the stage. The other had to consider the commercial commitments that had already been arranged. This became a major turning point in the relationship between Steve Perry and Journey. In 1998, Steve Perry officially left Journey. He later stated many times that the decision came from his own personal choice and that he did not want to continue performing before his health was fully ready. Perry also made the well-known statement, "Don't call it Journey," expressing his belief that Journey was no longer the same without its classic lineup. In numerous interviews afterward, Neal Schon consistently rejected the claim that Steve Perry had been forced out of the band. He repeatedly stated, "We didn't kick him out, he walked." According to Schon, Journey waited for Perry many times before ultimately moving forward after no clear commitment was received. The distance between the two sides continued to grow over the years. Even as Journey performed with new lead singers, Steve Perry's name remained at the center of nearly every discussion about the possibility of a reunion. That continuing interest kept the relationship between Perry and Neal Schon firmly in the public spotlight. In 2022, another legal dispute drew widespread attention. Steve Perry filed a trademark lawsuit involving the use of several names connected to Journey's famous songs. The case focused on merchandise carrying the titles of those classic songs and highlighted the differences that still existed regarding ownership of the band's intellectual property. Even after the legal disagreement, Neal Schon continued to insist that he had never closed the door on his former bandmate. In several interviews, the guitarist revealed that he had repeatedly tried to reach out to Steve Perry, hoping they could at least maintain a normal relationship outside of music. In October 2025, during an interview with Eddie Trunk, Neal Schon confirmed that the two were in what he described as zero dialogue. He revealed that he had invited Steve Perry to attend a San Francisco Giants baseball game, a shared passion of both men, though he never received a response. As his relationship with Journey grew increasingly distant, Steve Perry chose to focus on building his own musical path, creating a legacy entirely separate from the band. Solo journey. In 1984, Steve Perry released his debut solo album, Street Talk. The album quickly became a commercial success, reached the top 5 on the Billboard 200, and earned platinum certification. The achievement proved that Steve Perry's popularity extended far beyond the Journey name and established him as a successful solo artist. The album's biggest hit was Oh Sherry, inspired by his girlfriend at the time, Sherry Swafford. The song became a major chart success and helped Perry build an identity beyond his role as Journey's lead singer. Another single, Foolish Heart, also performed strongly and expanded his audience. After the success of Street Talk, Steve Perry continued working primarily with Journey. In 1994, he returned with his second solo album, For the Love of Strange Medicine. The record showcased a more mature sound, blending rock with familiar pop elements that complemented Perry's signature voice. For the Love of Strange Medicine received positive reviews from critics, though its commercial success did not equal that of his debut. Even so, the album confirmed that Perry remained committed to his own artistic direction, instead of relying only on the success he had achieved with Journey. After leaving Journey, Steve Perry almost disappeared from the music world. For nearly 2 decades, he released no new studio albums and did not launch any major concert tours. His long absence led many fans to believe that he had permanently retired from music. In later interviews, Perry explained that the reasons went beyond career changes. He admitted that he struggled with prolonged burnout, gradually lost his creative drive, and no longer felt ready to face the pressures of the music industry. He also said he never wanted to release music simply to satisfy public expectations. Returning only mattered once he genuinely rediscovered his creative inspiration. That return came in 2018 with Trace's Steve Perry's first studio album in 24 years. The release marked his comeback as both a singer and songwriter, and quickly reached the top 10 on the Billboard 200. The album's introspective tone reflected his personal experiences after spending many years away from the spotlight and demonstrated that his popularity remained strong. Following the success of Traces, Steve Perry released alternative versions and sketches featuring alternate recordings and demo versions from the album's creative process. He later added a Christmas album to his catalog, continuing to record music on his own terms rather than returning to an intensive touring schedule. One of his most recent projects is the duet Faithfully with Willie Nelson. The recording reimagined Journey's classic hit by blending Perry's signature vocals with Nelson's country style. The collaboration attracted attention from longtime fans as well as a new generation of listeners. Steve Perry has repeatedly said that he no longer wants to pursue large-scale tours. The demands of constant touring, his past experiences, and his desire to maintain complete control over his life have led him to adopt a much slower pace. Behind those career decisions are deeply personal experiences, especially the relationships that have shaped Steve Perry's life. Love and loss. In 1984, the relationship between Steve Perry and Sherry Swafford became widely known to the public when Sherry appeared in the music video for Oh Sherry, a famous song written by Perry and inspired by their own relationship. They met while Perry was enjoying success with Journey. Oh Sherry quickly became one of the biggest hits of Steve Perry's solo career. The success of the song brought Sherry Swafford widespread public attention. Both of them chose to keep most details of their relationship private and rarely commented publicly after their breakup. After his relationship with Sherry ended, Steve Perry made almost no other notable romantic relationships public for many years. He focused on his work and became increasingly private. This level of privacy kept Perry's personal life a subject of curiosity among fans. A significant turning point came when Steve Perry met Kelly Nash. She was a doctor of psychology who had battled breast cancer for many years. The two began a relationship in 2011 after Kelly reached out to Perry through a mutual friend. In several interviews afterward, Steve Perry said that Kelly Nash changed the way he viewed life. After many years of avoiding serious romantic relationships, Perry found understanding and peace in her presence. Their relationship also took place during a period when he had almost completely stepped away from music. Kelly Nash continued undergoing cancer treatment during the time they were together. Steve Perry accompanied her through much of her treatment and once shared that he truly believed love could give people the strength to overcome life's greatest challenges. In December 2012, Kelly Nash passed away after a long battle with cancer. Her death became one of the greatest losses in Steve Perry's life. He has repeatedly acknowledged that her passing completely changed his life and left a lasting impact. According to Steve Perry, before her death, Kelly Nash encouraged him to return to music rather than continue living in isolation. Perry viewed that as the most important promise he needed to keep. That commitment became one of the major motivations behind his return with the album Traces many years later. Although he has frequently appeared in public over several decades, Steve Perry has kept almost all information about his family private. He has confirmed that he has a daughter and grandchildren, but has not revealed their identities or shared further details about their lives in order to protect their privacy. Steve Perry has repeatedly said that he has never viewed marriage as a necessity. According to him, his experiences with his parents' unhappy marriage, along with witnessing many of his colleagues go through divorce, influenced his perspective. Perry believes that a lasting relationship does not necessarily need to be defined by marriage, and has always placed greater importance on sincerity and mutual respect than on legal commitments. After the changes and losses in his romantic and family life, Steve Perry chose a different pace of living, with music now being only one part of his life. Current life. Unlike the period when he performed constantly with Journey, Perry now maintains strict control over his work schedule. He only takes part in projects that genuinely fit his personal wishes. Having complete control over his musical decisions became a priority after years of working under the pressures of the entertainment industry. One of Steve Perry's greatest passions is baseball. He is a devoted fan of the San Francisco Giants and has appeared at the team's games on many occasions. Perry has said that following the Giants helped him get through some of the most difficult periods of his life. In several interviews, Steve Perry said that the team saved me. He explained that watching the games gave him a sense of peace and helped him maintain balance after personal hardships. His love for the San Francisco Giants remains strong to this day. In addition to baseball, Steve Perry has a particular interest in cars. He rarely discusses his personal collection, but he has mentioned his enjoyment of driving and spending time appreciating a simple life on several occasions. These simple pleasures reflect the singer's increasingly private lifestyle. Financially, Steve Perry is still regarded as one of the most successful artists in classic rock. Many public estimates place his net worth at around $70 million. Most of his income comes from royalties from Journey's songs and his solo projects. Classic songs such as Don't Stop Believin', Open Arms, and Faithfully continue to generate steady income through streaming, broadcasting, films, advertising, and licensing. In addition, Steve Perry's solo releases have made a significant contribution to his overall wealth. Steve Perry is believed to still own property in California. He rarely discusses his residence or personal assets, though. Keeping information about his private life confidential has remained a principle he has followed for many years. Regarding his health, Steve Perry underwent hip replacement surgery after problems stemming from an injury that contributed to his departure from Journey. The surgery was successful and significantly improved his mobility, though he has not chosen to return to a demanding performance schedule. Another challenge emerged in 2013 when Steve Perry was diagnosed with melanoma, a form of skin cancer. He underwent surgery and treatment successfully. In recent appearances, Steve Perry has continued to maintain a positive outlook and work at a pace that suits him. He has not announced plans for a major tour and has repeatedly emphasized that he only releases music when he truly feels he has something worth sharing. Alongside his private life, the relationship between Steve Perry and Neal Schon has remained a subject of interest among fans. Even though many years have passed since the two last performed together, statements from both men still frequently generate widespread discussion. Meanwhile, Steve Perry continues to keep his distance, giving no indication that he wants to return to Journey or change his current lifestyle. Nearly half a century after their first meeting in Denver, the story between the two men still has no clear ending, which is also why their relationship continues to be discussed by fans to this day. If you enjoy behind-the-scenes stories about music, legends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our latest videos.